Malcolm, just take us through the events of this afternoon.
Late this afternoon, we received advice from Queensland's Department of Primary Industries that 2 horses out of 6 that were showing clinical signs of EI at Hendra have interim positive results returned. So it really means that we have an anxious wait overnight, but the DPI have advised that they expect to have confirmation of the positives tomorrow morning.
What does that mean for the Metropolitan Brisbane Racing Centre?
In the short term, it's an immediate lockdown. So tonight, effectively, both Doomben and Eagle Farm as a precinct is locked down. No track work tomorrow, no prospect of future race meetings coming up, of course. That's all on the basis that these interim positives are confirmed in the morning. We're expecting that to be the case. It also has an impact on our vaccination strategy as well that we were looking to roll out from Saturday. So realistically, if we now have horses within this particular precinct that have EI, we won't be vaccinating against EI with the horses in this particular precinct.
In Randwick, when they realised that the virus was spreading, they decided just to continue working the horses and let them just catch the EI. What's your point of view on that?
Look, that's a potential outcome here. We've seen that the virus spreads rapidly. I think that's an absolute given. We have over 300 infected premises now in southeast Queensland, so it'd be foolish to think that the spread of the virus is completely slowed. That hasn't been the case. It's very likely now that all of the horses that we currently have in work at both Doomben and Eagle Farm will contract the virus. From my point of view, the sooner that occurs, probably the better.
Can you tell us the name of the horses that have been tested interimly for the virus?
Look, I'm not aware of the exact names of the horses. I do know that one horse from the stable did participate at the Eagle Farm race meeting on Saturday. Another one of those horses worked this morning. So on the basis that this is confirmed tomorrow, it's very likely that the disease is already in the process of being spread. Also, the period of time within which it can spread, we've already worked through that ahead of the horses showing the clinical signs. So again, on the basis that this is confirmed, our worst fears are confirmed tomorrow morning, it's very likely that the disease is already in the process of being spread.
There is racing programmed in southeast Queensland the next few days. Has that changed at all?
Look, it hasn't. One of the reasons we did set up the horse precincts was to make sure that in the event that we were faced to deal with something like this, we could actually lock down that precinct of horses and keep them isolated. We've done that this evening in terms of Doomben and Eagle Farm. We have a race meeting scheduled at Ipswich tomorrow and then at Mackay on Wednesday. At this particular point in time, we are pressing ahead with those meetings.
And there's a chance that we could swap the meeting around on Saturday. At this stage, it was scheduled for Doomben. That's obviously been abandoned. Could we have a race meeting in Brisbane or southeast Queensland on Saturday?
It's very likely that we would do that. What we have attempted to do right throughout the last month since we've been required to deal with EI is balance out a wagering program, not just in the interest of Queensland racing, but in the interest of the overall national wagering program. New South Wales, given its current situation, hasn't been able to contribute a great deal of product to the national wagering program. But Saturday being such a key day in terms of betting, if we're able to reallocate one of the meetings from either just ahead of Saturday or bring one back to Saturday, we would certainly look to do that even at this very early stage.
Over the weekend it is announced that 7,000 vaccines were going to be coming Queensland's way. What does that mean now with this outbreak in Brisbane?
7,000 have been allocated to the thoroughbred industry in Queensland, and we'd expect to take delivery of those on Saturday morning, if not Saturday morning, late Friday evening, so we can start the vaccination process. Obviously, one of the precincts that until this afternoon we thought was a clean precinct was the Doomben Eagle Farm precinct, on the basis again that these 2 horses are confirmed as positive in the morning. We won't be vaccinating against EI within this particular horse population, but we're still of the view, and given the information that we currently have to hand, that we have other clean horse precincts in southeast Queensland, so we'll be moving to vaccinate those as we'd planned to from Saturday morning.
Just when we thought we were close to being on top of it, this has happened. It's tragic news.
Look, it's a catastrophe, but look, having said that, again, I re-emphasise that one of the reasons that we divided southeast Queensland up into horse precincts was simply so that we could react to something like this. We've had a whole range of biosecurity measures in place for a long period of time, and as everyone now knows, that this can be transmitted from horse to human to horse. We can manage and regulate the movement of horses very strictly, but at the end of the day, we're still heavily reliant on the general public, the general population, doing the right thing. That's something that we can't manage as well as manage the movement of horses, but you're quite right, it's absolutely disastrous.